gemology?
So it's the study of diamonds and gemstones.
What do you do in your day-to-day job?
So some people might bring us some gemstones in, so we'll do some investigating and tests and find out what they are for them. And it's ensuring that the person who's going to buy that gemstone knows what they are buying. Sometimes it's exciting to look at things you haven't seen very much of before, because you're learning every day. And then sometimes you see things that you see quite often, but they're still beautiful and fascinating.
What got you into gemology?
I used to collect rocks when I was younger, and my granddad used to buy and sell a lot of antique jewellery. So yes, I've always wanted to be a gemologist.
And is there a difference between a jeweller and a gemologist?
A jeweller usually makes jewellery, but a gemologist only looks at the gemstones.
So the gemologist is almost like the gem scientist?
Yes, exactly.
Do you run experiments on the gems?
Yes, we put them on lots of different machines and we look at them and run tests and analyse all the data to find out what things are.
Do you have like a computer and like a microscope to find like little details?
Yes, so microscopes and a lot of books as well. So Henry, this is a microscope and this is the most important tool for any gemologist. So here on the microscope is a piece of amber with some fossilised flies in it.
How does the tree form the amber?
So some types of trees create sap, and sap, fossilised, is amber.
How are there so many?
Because when the amber would have been cooling thousands of years ago, there might have been a lot of flies on that tree, and as the amber has cooled, they've got frozen in the amber and they're there forever now.
People like flies in their jewellery, that's a bit off.
Yes, people search for it, they really like it.
Ew, that's really weird. It gives me the creeps. Why are gems mostly found in like underground mines?
So gemstones form in the Earth's crust, so under where we stand, and people mine down to get them. When people find them, when they mine for them, they'll find a rough crystal, and then you cut that stone to what shape you want and what size you want, and then that piece of gemstone can be put into jewellery.
So how does the earth form a gemstone?
If there's the right heat and pressure under the earth, along with the elements that make up that gemstone, the pressure forms it into that gem.
How long does it normally take for a gemstone to be formed?
So sometimes millions of years.
Have you ever been delivered a fake gemstone before?
Yes, a lot of the time.
How do you know if it's fake or real?
So we look at things under high magnification, but the ones that are man-made will have not natural inclusions. So gas bubbles maybe, or marks that you would not see in a natural gemstone. It's like being a detective, so you have to look for the clues and the evidence to see if it's real or not.
On the film Flushed Away, I found out that a fake ruby can sometimes just be smashed, and the real ruby is much, much harder to smash.
If it's a fake, so if it's glass, if it's not ruby at all, then yes, you might be able to smash it. So here is an example of fake gemstones versus real gemstones. This is a fake gemstone. This is man-made glass to make it look like a ruby. This is a real gemstone. This is a crystal of a sapphire. So it hasn't been cut yet, but this is how you'd find them in the earth.
Well, some people just think it's a rock and just walk past it.
Probably, yes. And a lot of the time, with rough crystals, if you cut them into a gemstone, you lose more than half the size. So this one also, this is a fake gemstone. This is glass made to look like a rough, natural crystal.
Why would someone make a fake gemstone?
A fake one, they would be trying to sell it for the same amount of money as a real one would be, but this one's fake, so it's worth a lot less money.
What other jobs are there in gemology?
So you can work in a laboratory like me, or you might want to work for a jeweller's, or you could work for an auction house where people sell their jewellery, or you could cut the gemstones, or you could start your own business, mining gemstones, selling gemstones.
What qualifications do you have to get?
To study gemology, you've had to have done your GCSEs, A-levels and been to university to get your degree.
What is the hardest bit of being a gemologist?
So all of it is quite difficult. You have to make sure you're giving accurate information, and some answers are quite hard to find, so it can take quite a lot of time and research.
So what tips would you have for any aspiring gemologists out there?
Study hard at school, have an interest usually in science and art, and do a lot of your own research. There's a lot of books available, there's a lot of stuff you can read on the internet and learn about all the different minerals, all the different gem families.